Keep going. Reel me, Josh. Here, give me one. Just keep rolling, Bob. I got another net. I got that for $3. It's going. Slow down for me to come back here. Oh, yeah, it's slow down. Okay. Get forward now. There goes another bit.
What's going on Facebook and YouTube Live? Thanks for joining another episode of On Another Line Live. Today we're going to talk about a few things. One of those being how to enter a FLW Phoenix Bass Fishing League, or BFL, for the first time as a co-angler or an angler or a boater or what they call a pro, and what to expect in your first tournament. That was one of the things that I had the hardest time with, is trying to figure out what to expect as an angler. And we're going to talk about that. Hey, Larry Slack, what's up, buddy? Whoa, sorry about that. Just kicked myself off for some reason. Back. Hey, Larry, glad you guys are here. Anyway, first and foremost, if you guys didn't check out the latest video that's on my YouTube channel, I posted it last Thursday, I believe, which is the trolling for walleye on Lake Erie. Day 1, day 2 will be coming up very soon with Chuck Dotson of Get Hooked Charters. If you guys are interested in a walleye fishing trip in the Lake Erie, I guess it would be the western basin of Lake Erie around Turtle Creek, get a hold of my buddy Chuck Dotson with Get Hooked Charters. Him and Scott Mowry, two captains, they're business partners, and they will put you on the meat, man. We had so much fun. Myself, Josh, my cousin Josh, my Uncle Keith, my dad, and Jamie, who is Josh's brother-in-law, Keith's son-in-law. We all went fishing, had a great time, ended up getting into a massive storm, and I'm not going to ruin it for you, but if you get into the situation where you watch that video, we just about got struck by lightning. It was a lot closer than it should have been. Hey, brother, how's it going? Hot here in Texas. It is hot here, too. It's not. I'm sure it's not quite as high as Texas right now. It's about 90. I'm going to check on this really quick for you just to make sure I don't mess this up. But I can tell you exactly what it is here right now in Ohio, where I'm at. It's still 90 degrees at 8 p.m. in the evening. So it's been scorching. Dude that I met through this show and through at the Tackle Box, J.R. White, he and I are thinking about going fishing tomorrow at Grayson. So hopefully that calms down a little bit. It looks like it's about a 60% chance of rain. I don't care to strap on the old 100-mile-an-hour suit and get out there and try to catch some fish. It'll actually cool it down a little bit. Kyle Maddox, what's up, brother? Appreciate that super chat there. Appreciate it, man. First off, thank you for doing what you're doing. You're keeping it nice and entertaining for me to do this for you guys, so I appreciate that very, very much. The thing about this going on with the trolling walleye trip that you guys saw on my YouTube channel, if you guys haven't checked it out, I recommend you going over and checking it out because it is a stellar video. I'm pretty excited. I was pretty impressed with it. It's fairly long. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's fairly long. It does have a lot of excitement, a lot of stuff on there. The time that the lightning struck the water, it was one of those deals where, we shouldn't have been out there. We had an opportunity to catch our last couple fish. Chuck asked us, like, hey, we got a big storm rolling in. Do you want to go in? Us being, hardcore fishermen and not really caring, we're like, no. And though, if you can see here, I'm going to share this screen here really quickly. If you see here, literally what you can see there as far as being rained out, that's about, I don't know, 50 to 75 feet, maybe at the max, 30 to 40 yards. You're looking at that you can see there, and the lightning struck somewhere out there just below or just past what you could see. So it was fairly close to the boat. Go out there and check out that video. I would appreciate it. But with that being said, again, I want you to understand that that was our decision to go out there. Was it the most, sane decision? Probably not. The wind blew in. We were in 4s and 5s, but again, we were in a 30-foot Baja, not a huge deal. But when the lightning started coming down, we were literally frantic trying to get everything back in the boat. Matter of fact, if you watch the video, you can see that there are 2 rods on the left-hand side of the boat that still have fish on them. And we just left them alone until the storm went by so we get that stuff home. So if you go check it out, if you don't care. Hey, Andrew, what's up? Got a couple fish at Grayson over the weekend. Nothing big, though. That's the thing about Grayson, man. I'm still learning how to fish it in the summertime. There's some hammers in there. I don't know where they go, but I'm going to find out. Hopefully, again, we're going to go out tomorrow and try to figure out what's up. But today's episode, I'm going to talk about fishing what I consider to be pro-level tournaments, and that is either BFL or BASS, depending on which way you want to go with it. I'm going to show you my experience. I'm going to show you FLW side of things just because I am more experienced with that than I am anything else. So with that being said, I want you to understand is that there's a lot of stuff here that goes on with this that a lot of people have maybe some negativity or maybe some stuff that hold them back. Why do you not fish these? And my opinion to you guys, if you want to get into the quote unquote pro side of tournament fishing, and those of you guys that have been following my channel for a while will know that I have basically vowed this year to not fish any fishing tournaments and get back to the love of just fishing. And I chose to fish one fishing tournament, and that was this past weekend at Lake St. Clair. And again, because Lake St. Clair, why not? But I wanted to get in one just to see what I was missing, if I really did miss anything. So Kyle and I went up. I met Kyle at his house on Thursday. We drove at 2 o'clock in the morning, left his house in Dayton, Ohio, drove up about 3 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and got to Detroit, Michigan, which is where St. Clair is at. We pre-fished all day on Friday, caught a few fish here and there. Nothing big. We ran out over $100 worth of fuel in his Nitro Z21 with that 4-stroke Mercury. So we had his boat all over the place. One of the things that really hit us hard is that Canadian water was off limits. The reason that is because the border is closed between U.S. and Canada both ways. I really don't get it as far as being in the water and territory, but I think it's kind of a political deal. One thing I definitely I'm glad I did not do was buy a Canadian license. I did not do that, which I'm glad of. So we're going to talk about how to get registered for your first BFL, whether that be for a boater side or a co-angler side, and what you can expect for both. I have a lot of experience with the boater side because Kyle fishes a boater. I fish as a co-angler or a non-boater. And the reason I do that, guys, it's not because I don't feel like I don't feel like that I can compete against people. It's not that. One of the issues is that the regional tournament, which I'll talk about in just a second, is always in the fall, and it's usually it's actually a 3-day tournament. And what happens is that, certain amount of people through each one of these regions get to this regional tournament, and I don't want to set myself up for failure or set my co-angler up for failure because I am a school teacher. You guys know that. Most of you guys do. And they give me 3 months off in the summer, and they start looking down on it when I start taking days off in the wintertime and, when we're back at school, which, obviously is a legit concern. So it's okay for me to take a day or so off and get out and fish a tournament. I do have some professional day or some, personal days that I can take, but I can't afford to take all the time off that it takes to create and find a fish and create a pattern to find fish within the fall there. So that's why I choose to fish as a co-angler. I've had some success in the FLW side of things on the BFL. You can search my name on BFL, and again, it's not super, crazy good here. But if I look at this, so here's my profile on it. This is FLWfishing.com. You can see career earnings just a little under $2,000. I've not won anything yet. Top 10 finishes, 3 of those. Total events fish 18. So if you figure I fished 18 events, and all of these have been as co-anglers, they're not ever as a boater for me. But top 10's 3. So, looking at basically pretty good percentage there of being in the top 10. Considering out of 18 tournaments I finished top 10 in 3 of those. And if I scroll down here, you can see all the stuff as well as some photos. This is a photo from actually, it'll take me back to, I have to go through all those, but this is a photo from last year at BFL. This is the same one on, there's a lot of stuff here you can see here with as far as what I fished. I very first started out in 2015 as, a co-angler fishing the BFL in the Buckeye division, which fishes the Ohio River mainly. I made the regional twice. One of them was in the Potomac River. The other one was at Barron River Lake, which is down past Lake Cumberland in Kentucky. I fished the BFL last year in the Michigan division because Kyle was fishing up there. We linked together, which I'll talk about in just a second. You can see this year at my last tournament, I finished 13th. Sorry, you probably can't see that, but if you see here now, I finished 13th. I racked up 238 points, and I caught 5 fish. I earned $210. Hey, Corey. Thanks, man. Hey, so speaking of which, I got your message today. I've been working at school all day. We had a laptop delivery and all kind of stuff today. And then I come home, help Misty fix dinner, and now I'm here. So I'll give you a call either later this evening or probably tomorrow. But I did get your message. So I finished 13th. You can see my rank here in 2019 is 91. These are basically out of how many people fish the entire series. You can see that I fished 3 tournaments. I fished 2 out of St. Clair, 1 out of the Detroit River, and you can see here $198 and $200. If you look at the earnings here, as far as that goes, so I have $210 earning for the last tournament, and the one tournament that I actually placed in last year, I won $198. So here's one thing I want to tell you: if you're fishing as a co-angler, do not expect to get rich when you're actually working on the co-angler side. Unless you're winning these things or you're actually, doing really, really well at every tournament, you don't expect to get rich as a co-angler. I will tell you, in my opinion, my absolute opinion, it's easier to place on the co-angler side than it is the boater side, because as a co-angler, guys, you're just hopping in somebody's boat that's more than likely been there for a couple of days and has found fish. You're just getting the opportunity to cast at the fish that they found. So that's why I feel like that's a little easier to place as a co-angler. But one's $210, the other one's $198. Here's the irony of this. I finished 13th place in both of these tournaments. 13th this past weekend. I finished 13th the tournament that I placed in last year. Notice that there's a little discrepancy in the price or the amount I won. $210, $198. That all depends on the amount of people that are signed up for the tournament. This past weekend at St. Clair, there was 130 boats, which means there was, you're looking at 260 people fishing against each other, 2 in each boat. One's a boater, or what they call an FLW, a pro. The other one is a co-angler like myself. So we're going to look at that today, how to get actually access to FLW, what you have to do, and what to expect when you fish your very first BFL or your first, again, quote-unquote, pro level tournament. So one thing about this is that either way, BASS or FLW, they require you to have a membership through them, a BASS membership or an FLW membership. And the FLW membership, if I'm correct, let's see here. I want to make sure that I am telling you the exact truth. So let's just bring this up here. So these are the memberships that you can join. When you first join up with FLW, it actually gives you the opportunity it throws this World's Greatest Deals membership into your cart already. It's $75. What it does, it gives you like a card that gives you some discounts and stuff. Me, I refrain from doing that. I usually choose the competitor membership, which is $60. I also, excuse me, I also want you to understand that some of these, like this digital subscriber and subscriber down here, does not have tournament eligibility into it. Make sure you choose what you want. And notice here in big black letters here, it says tournament eligibility. This is a big deal. You must have tournament eligibility to fish a BFL or any higher tournaments with FLW. So once you do that, once you become an FLW member, and by the way, guys, you can do this all at the same time. You can then register for your first BFL. So what I'm going to do is over here at the top, it says tournament registration. I'm going to go down, and we're going to break these down really quickly if I can do this without going crazy. So we have tournament registration. First off, we're going to start at the Abu Garcia College Fishing. If you guys are in college out there and you want to be able to finish these tournaments, by all means, look into it. I would definitely recommend, especially if you guys are out there in college. I wish that's something I would have been able to do when I was in college to fish. But the two we're going to talk about today is the Phoenix BFL and the Toyota Series. They changed the name of these things, it seems like, every year. It used to be the T&H Marine BFL last year. They changed it to the Phoenix Boat BFL. And the Toyota Series used to be the Costa Series last year. And these are two different divisions or tournament series. And one of them is way more expensive than the other. So I want to choose the Phoenix BFL. I'm going to hover over this, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to find the Michigan division right here. I don't live in Michigan. I'm literally 6 hours from there. But I do like fishing there, and Kyle and I get on there, and we link together, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. Kyle Maddox here said, hey, I really need to get into that as a co-angler. Been doing real at local evening derbies. Feel like I could do decent. And he says, I want to do one to get the feel of it. Dude, I encourage you to do it. It's an experience that I think everybody should work on, and you should at least do it one time as a co-angler. So here are the 4 events. I think there's 4, yep. So notice here there's 5, actually. One of them's gone, and that was last weekend. Here's August 1st, St. Clair, Detroit River, August 15th. August 16th is rescheduled here. And then you have the Detroit River on the 26th and 27th. However, what it doesn't show here is what's known as the regional tournament or the regional championship. As an FLW member and you're working through the BFL, what your end game is as a co-angler is to win what's known as the All-American. So right now you have the FLW side of things. We're looking at the BFL. You can register for as many of these BFLs as you would like, but they take the top 50, 40 or 50, unless they change it, 40 or 50. So the top 40 or 50 in each division. So we have the Michigan division we're looking at right here. So right now I'm ranked 13th in this entire region or this entire division because I've only fished one tournament and there's only been one tournament, and I finished 13th. So that tells me that I am ranked 13th in this entire division. If I stay in the top 40 of that division throughout the remainder of these fishing tournaments, if I choose to fish them, then that will qualify me to go to the regional championship. So what happens is the Michigan division, I think the Great Lakes division, several divisions, they send their top 40 to a regional, which this regional for the Michigan division is at the Mississippi River. So you show up, there's like 200 boats in this tournament, but you're fishing for the opportunity to fish or qualify for the FLW All-American. So the FLW All-American, I think it's the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, the top 10 co-anglers and boaters get to go. Maybe it's the top 5. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. It's been so long since I fished it. But there's a certain amount of people that get qualified to fish the All-American. As a boater, if you win the All-American, you get the opportunity to fish the FLW Tour the next year with all of your tournament entries fees paid, which is huge. The most you can win as a co-angler, and when I say most, don't get me wrong, this is a lot of money. You can win a boat and some cash, and it works out to be about $50,000 or a little more with boat and cash too. So the most you can ever win in a tournament is winning a boat and some cash, and that's the All-American. Getting there is a hard road to hoe. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Hey, brother, Indiana, not too far from here. Next state over. Thanks for joining. Stephen Chase, what's up, buddy? How's the road? Hopefully it's treating you good. And hope your air conditioner in your cab of your truck is still rocking it, because I guarantee you, as much as you're traveling, you're seeing some super high temperatures. So we have these 4, fishing tournaments, and in order to get registered for a tournament, it's very easy. You can just choose one. Again, if you're not from my area and you're from out somewhere else, you can choose tournament registration, choose Phoenix BFL, and there's a lot of these that fit you. Like if you're in my area, the closest one is the Buckeye Division. So I'm going to choose the Buckeye Division here. Notice here, High River Maysville, there's Lake Erie. Here is the Indian Lake, which is rescheduled. So you're in Indy. You're not too far, bud. So let's just say that I want to fish this tournament right here in Maysville on August 15th. I'm going to select that little logo there. Maybe I can. Maybe if my internet will log in. So I've actually chosen August, the one in August. Here's where the option to choose is either professional or co-angler. Notice that I'm not logged in yet. If I were logged in and I had a membership already, I would have that. It would show here. What I can do, though, once I log in, if I don't have a membership already, I can add that to the cart at the same time, and it'll work just fine. Notice here it says Angler 1 and it says Angler 2. So what you're going to do... Hey, Christopher Marr, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining. Hopefully this helps you out. I want to dispel some of the myths and help you guys try to join your first BFL. I think that's what we need to, I want you guys to strive for that. It's a great deal. Here's the thing. You heard me talking about having a link for a BFL. What a link is a boater, or what they consider a professional, a pro, that you link with. So what that does is that guarantees you, as a co-angler or a boater, if you choose to go as a boater, the opportunity to fish the tournament. Here's what I mean. It's a first come, first serve basis on tournament entry. When one boater signs up and the co-angler signs up, they get paired, not really paired together, but they ensure that each other has a place to fish. If there's 75 boaters and 80 co-anglers signed up, 75 of those people are guaranteed to fish in order. First come, first serve. So if you're 76 on that list, you're in a queue and you get added to the tournament as soon as a boater joins that actually will give you a spot to fish. However, if you link with somebody, meaning you're going to find a boater or find a co-angler, whichever opposite you are. If you're a boater, you got to find a co-angler. And if you're co-angler, obviously you got to find a boater. You guys are going to do what's called as linking, or you're going to call what FLW is called linking. And that's done here. Angler number 1, angler number 2. Angler number 1 is going to be your FLW ID. It would already be filled out here. If I were signed in, my FLW number would pop in there. This right here would be propagated with my FLW number. The angler number 2, this is where I would put my link. I would find out what their FLW number is from them. For example, my link is always Kyle. I have it saved in my phone. He has his, or has mine saved in his phone. So we get on here, we put this in here, we hit add to cart, and then we pay for it. And that is as simple as that, guys. If you have a link, you have a membership, and you pay the entry fee, which is $100 for a non-boater and $200, actually $300. Looks like it's... Let me make sure this is all true here. I thought it was 100 and 200. We're going to go back to the Michigan division, what I was working on before. I'm going to go ahead and log in here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not going to bore you to death with that. So I'm going to choose St. Clair here, August 1st. And again, notice that this is $200. The reason that Erie tournament was $300 is because it's known as what's known as a super tournament, and it's 2 days. We'll talk about that in just a second. But notice here, $200 for a pro. I'm going to drop this down to co-angler. Notice that it's $100. So $100 there. And then what happens is the angler 1, mine would automatically be propagated here once I signed in. Obviously, you're going to create an account first. That's going to be step 1. It's free to create an account. That will automatically propagate your FLW number here. Again, you're going to drop in your link, their link ID number here. And if you don't have a link, guys, there are Facebook groups all over the places looking for links. If you search for like FLW BFL link, I'm sure you'll find a Facebook group out there available for that. There may be forums and stuff. I don't know. So notice once you do that, if I type in my number here and type in Kyle's number here, which is my link, I'm going to choose add to cart. Once I add that to cart and I pay for it, I'll get an email saying that I've submitted my entry form to FLW. And the next day or so, the next business day, you'll get an email saying that you are confirmed for that tournament. So let me pull up my email here. All right, so I'm going to share. Here's my email that I got from FLW on the day after that. And you'll notice here that it says confirmation, and it shows that I'm confirmed for this tournament. It actually says it out here to the right of that, but it says I'm confirmed as a co-angler. That means that I have the ability to fish that tournament. I just have to show up and fish. Here's the deal. One of the hardest things that I had to overcome when I fished my first BFL is the fact that you don't get a fish with the link that you linked with unless you somehow randomly draw that person through FLW's system. What happens is, let's just say that this day right here, day one takeoff is at 6:30 a.m. That is going to be on August 1st. The day before that, there is a pre-tournament meeting, and right now with COVID stuff going on, it's usually a Zoom meeting or online only. So you join with your phone. Normally, what happens is you go to that pre-tournament meeting, they tell you all the rules, and then whether you're at the meeting or not, you'll get an automated text message from FLW on your phone, and it shows you who you're paired with for that tournament. This past tournament, I linked up with a guy named John DeVries from Indiana. Super nice guy. He'll be a personal friend of mine forever. And that's one thing that it took me a while to understand why it was such a big deal for me to get in somebody else's boat. One, it's a safety issue. But two, I didn't want to get into somebody's boat that was a pain in the rear end. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be in there with somebody that was a butthole or somebody that, that wasn't having fun fishing. I fished 18 tournaments, guys. I've had 18 different partners, and there's been one guy that left a bad taste in my mouth. So that is very good odds. And the reason that guy left a bad taste in my mouth, the guy was he just had a terrible outlook on life and fished in the trees more than he did the water and blamed his lures and his equipment for that. So first and foremost, you're going to register for the tournament, which I just showed you how to do. Create an account through FLW. Choose your membership. Make sure you choose the competitor membership. I wouldn't pay the extra $15 for that. Kind of trumped up deal there. Go for the $60. So your very first BFL is going to cost you $160 plus fees to travel and lodging. But if you link with somebody like I showed you guys just how to do here, again, put your number here, which will already be propagated, and their number here. When you add to cart and pay for it, you'll get one of those confirmation emails. If you don't have a link, eventually you'll get one of those confirmation emails if there's enough boaters to fish. If there are more boaters than co-anglers, if you submit that, usually almost instantaneously you'll get an email back that says you're confirmed, which means you're guaranteed to fish. Show up that day, be ready to go. If not, if you don't get an email, it'll say that you're in a waiting queue or in line. You're in line, and it may show like you can actually call FLW. It's like on the website or you can actually call the 1000. It's like something 1000, and they will answer the phone, literally pick it up, and be like, "Hey, my name is Tyler Waller. I'm fishing as a co-angler in the Michigan division. I want to know what number I am in the queue," and they'll tell you, like, okay, there's 70 boaters. Your a co-angler 82. So that means there's going to have to be 12 other boaters join up for you to do that. If you want to fish these things, the key is getting either a link or, adding yourself to this very, very soon, as quick as you can. You can pay for all these things all up front if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you can if you want to. But once you get registered for the tournament, whether you're linked or not, and you get confirmed from FLW, you have a confirmation email that says you are confirmed to fish this tournament. Again, there are a couple of things that I want you to make sure that you're aware of, that you kind of go into it knowing these things. One of these, again, you're not guaranteed to know who you fish with. The more you fish a division as a co-angler, the better off you're going to be to know people and get in people's boat that you know, because, again, the odds are better that you see somebody you know. Are you going to be in your linked person's boat ever? I think there is an opportunity for you to draw that. Again, it's just totally random. It's computer generated. They send it to you via text on your phone with the person's email and their phone number and their name and where they live, and you call them up. Usually it's the co-angler's job to call the boater. You grab that phone number, call him, like, hey, whatever. We're going to use John for the last one. I drew him. It's like, hey, John, my name is Tyler Waller. I guess you and I are going to be fishing tomorrow. And just have a conversation with that person. Hey, John, we were out today. Have you been doing any fishing? They're going to tell you yes or no. Some people are really tight-lipped with the information that they find on a lake with good reason. They're there to win a lot of money, just the same as you are. So I've had some people not tell me what we're doing until we actually get in the boat that morning. However, 90% of the people will tell you the techniques that they're going to be using in the morning, because as a co-angler, it's better to set yourself up for success by having the correct baits tied on for what you're doing. Here's a case in point where this has bit me in the rear end. I asked a fella, said, hey, do you have any specific techniques that we're going to be doing tomorrow so I can get rigged up and stuff so I don't have to spend the first hour of the morning getting rigged up? He said, I would rather tell you when we get into the boat tomorrow. I said, okay, I get it. I respect that. We'll go on. So the next morning, we get to the boat ramp. I get in his boat, and he's like, we're going to go into the St. Clair River, and we're going to be throwing Carolina rigs. I was like, I got you. I can tie on a Carolina rig. So I tied on my normal Carolina rig with like 3/8 or a ½ ounce tungsten weight, just a random regular Carolina rig. We get up in the Detroit or up in the St. Clair River. He's throwing a Carolina rig with a 2-ounce egg sinker. This thing is ginormous. He's throwing this thing out in the current 15, 20, 25 foot deep, and he was dragging the bottom and absolutely smashing fish. He was hammering them. I couldn't have put every piece of weight, every piece of lead, tungsten, or whatever I had in my box that made 2 ounces. So you got to take the good with the bad. The guy ended up giving me a 2-ounce sinker. I ended up catching my limit and finished like 35th or whatever, but he didn't have to do that. But super nice guy. Still talk to him basically randomly every month or so. But you're going to have to know that you're going to put yourself into a position where you're getting somebody else's boat. What's that mean? Well, next thing is gear. How much gear do I pack? Well, that's totally up to you. I do want you to understand that you're getting into somebody else's boat and there's only so much room. Normally, what happens is, as a co-angler, normally, I say this normally, sometimes it's different. Normally, a boater will have the back compartment behind the co-angler seat or the passenger seat cleared out for you. So your tackle and stuff should fit in that fairly easily. I use a Shimano Black Moon backpack. It's fairly large. However, it usually fits in everybody's back compartment there, and I can have that thing stuffed full of baits and stuff. It doesn't matter. I take that with all my gear in it. The next thing is rods. How many rods do you take? Well, I started out with this BFL thinking that I'm going to take everything I can get my hands on, and went out to I had like 13 rods in a boat. I had this big giant rod cluster, and then I would get people looking at me like, holy crap, dude, you're not going to put all that stuff in my boat, are you? Like, where am I going to put it? So what I've did now is I've learned that 13 rods are great when you have your own boat. However, there are some rods that are dual duty, and I can get rid of some of those. This past fishing tournament at St. Clair, I packed 5 fishing rods, and 4 of those were spinning rods. So I figured out what kind of fishing that I figured I was going to be doing, smallmouth fishing, obviously on St. Clair. And what techniques do I like to throw for smallmouth? Well, drop shot, Ned rig, a shaky head, small swim bait, Carolina rig, tube. I was thinking all these baits that I like to throw for them. And then I figured out what rods I could use for multiple options. For example, maybe a small swim bait and a tube, or, that might be one rod. And a shaky head and a drop shot might be one rod, or maybe I have that Ned rig rod. So I narrowed it down to the amount of rods that I can get away with, but still feel like I have the ability to compete and not have to tie rods all day. So that's another thing. Pack as much gear as you'd like. Keep it on the minimum side of things. You don't want to be, because, well, first off, as a co-angler, you're going to have one little spot to put rods. And it doesn't matter if they have a $100,000 Ranger. There's still only so much stuff you can put in there. Next thing is, usually a boater will have a life jacket for you, but I encourage you to bring your own. One, this is guaranteed fitment, something that you use and you're comfortable with and you feel confident using. And two, again, this guarantees you have one to wear. If they forget one or whatever, you still can fish. You have to have a life jacket on at takeoff. That's one of the rules, so make sure you have that. So bring your own life jacket, bring your gear, and bring something to drink, guys. That's the biggest deal. A lot of the boaters that I've been with will have extra drinks and stuff. I just bring some Gatorade or whatever, and usually I throw it in their cooler with ice. A few of the unwritten rules here that goes without saying as being a co-angler is that you never are supposed to go back to that person's spot, to fish their spots. I get that. There's you guys know that I run the Angler app all the time, which tracks all my GPS locations. I will tell you, I've not done that in the tournament. I don't ever plan to. When Kyle and I are pre-fishing, I mark all of our catches and I track our stuff through the Angler app. I had the Angler bullseye on my hat this weekend, just out of habit. My phone was actually off, but I had that Angler bullseye there, and John noticed it, and he's like, "Hey, you're not running any kind of application that's marking my spots, are you?" And, I wasn't, but I could see where he thought I was, because I had that Angler bullseye, and anybody knows what the Angler app is. That button marks a spot on a GPS, so it makes sense. That's one of the unwritten rules. Don't go back and fish spots that you've been shown by a boater, because, again, if it's a community hole and there's 100 boats there, that's a different story. If you're at one spot in the middle of the lake and there's nothing else around and you go directly back to that rock pile, there's going to be something fishy there. So keep that in mind. Another unwritten rule that it is to do this stuff, it is generally a good idea to pack some extra cash with you as a co-angler and hit the boater up for some fuel money at the end of the tournament. Win, lose, or draw, I usually give my boater $40 in fuel. I don't care if we run 2 miles or 75 miles. I still give my boater $40. I feel like that's an adequate amount of fuel, whether we ran it out or not. Unless you're running a 4-stroke, you have 2-stroke, 2-cycle oil, you have gas to get the boat there, you have tires on the boat trailer, you have maintenance, you have everything that you guys and I know as boat owners know that all this stuff goes in. It's just an unwritten rule that, it's not in the rules anywhere that says, co-anglers must furnish boaters with fuel money. That's not it at all. That is a thing. That's kind of an unwritten rule. And just know that to pack a little bit of cash. If you think $40 is too much, give them $20. I would recommend you giving them something, because it's going to, it's just a courtesy thing. Hey, James, all the way from Florida, man. Hope you guys are staying safe. It looks like the COVID down there in Florida is out of control. So, with that being said, entering your first BFL and what to expect. That's pretty much it. Entering it is just as easy as getting online and entering it. Again, finding somebody to link with is a big deal. If you have somebody to link with, definitely do that. If you need somebody to link with in my area, get a hold of me. There's a lot of people in this area that fish BFLs. I could probably find you a link. And also, if you're on Facebook, search for BFL, FLW BFL link. There's normally I've seen 20 or 30 of those different Facebook groups where people are on there looking for a link. Jeff Wallace says, great job at St. Clair. Buddy, thank you. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. I finished 13th out of 130 boats, top 10%. I don't think that is a bad deal at all. I would recommend you going and fishing a BFL, one as a co-angler, because it's a lot cheaper as a co-angler. You don't have to find fish. That's two. The third option is you can still win some money. However, if I look at the last tournament at St. Clair, the winner of that won $1,500 and some dollars, right? We paid $100 to enter. He won $1,500. It's a pretty good payday. If you look at the boater side of things, I think the boater won almost $6,500. There's a huge payout increase there. And also on the boater side, you can get what's known as perks or benefits. Like, for example, if you have a T&H Marine jack plate, an Atlas jack plate, or you wear Costa sunglasses, or there's a lot of stuff that's affiliated with FLW that you can win some money for. Mercury is like a $250 bonus if you're running a Mercury that's a certain age. Toyota does thing. Do I ever fish with Scott Martin? No, I don't, man. I would love to get in the boat with Scott Martin. His dad is a legend, Roland Martin, and Scott Martin is amazing also. I would love to. I haven't ever fished with him, but I would definitely be down to. What's up, Mr. Garrett? So yeah, man, I appreciate the great job wishes there. I encourage you to do it, man. Get out there and do it. I know you're catching fish. I see you do it all the time. Take the leap. Go out there and do it. It is a total different ball game. Being able to walk across the stage in an FLW event is a big deal. And again, it's the only thing that I'm telling you to do is stop doubting yourself and go fish one. Especially get your feet wet as a co-angler and then see if you want to fish as a boater. There are some opportunities there to make that happen. You don't have to have the best of the best of equipment to go fish these things. You don't. You can fish and win with a Zubco 33. I say that 100%. Fish with what you got, fish with what you can afford, and fish what you have confidence in. You can fish and win these tournaments no matter what you have. Another thing that you need to look at, there are young fishing these tournaments. You may get paired up with an 18-year-old boater. It's just the way it is. They're footing the money to be a boater. They feel like they have the opportunity to win as a boater. There's nothing you can do about it. You draw an 18-year-old boater, you're fishing with them. If you back out of tournaments, eventually FLW will blackball you and not allow you to enter events. And that's not what we want. So when you sign up, for sure, try to fish it. The only reason that you should back out and make sure you do that in great advance is if there's something, a tragedy or, something that you're very sick or whatever, and you can't make it, cancel in an amount of time for them to get another person to fill your spot. But I encourage you guys to get out there and fish a BFL. Find a local BFL that's going to be close to you. Pay the $100. I know it's a ton of money, but it's worth the experience to go there. One, I could guarantee you're going to have it's going to be a once in a lifetime event because it's going to be your first time fishing a pro level tournament. Blasting off with 150 plus boats is a thrill, ladies and gentlemen. It is awesome. Looking around at 150 boats around you in one little area, and they all have the same want that you have, and that is to put the biggest fish on the scales as possible and show those people what you're made of. Everybody there is legit and wants to do that. You're not fishing against average Joes, guys. Everybody that's in those boats are there because they have the ability to fish. Another cool thing about it is they play the national anthem before every tournament. And I promise you won't see anybody kneeling at a bass tournament. You won't. You won't see anybody taking a knee during the national anthem. People are standing on the front decks of their boats. Their hats are off. Their hand over their heart. Listen to and you're watching the flag wave on the flag boat with 150 boats around you, and you're looking around saying, "Oh my God, does it get any better than this?" Is what you're going to think. Like, this is where it's at. So you're going to fish, and you're going to have a huge amount of pride and stuff. I don't care if you finish last. You're going to get some experience. Jeff Wallace, how much are Coastal Glasses? Can I get fish sauce and tackle box or through you? Right now, the only way that you can get JB's fish sauce, I'm going to work on getting it at the tackle box. Give me a week or so. I'm going to try to get it there. The only way that you can get JB's fish sauce right now is going to jbsfishsauce.com. And again, if you guys aren't aware, I have a signature blend of JB's fish sauce. That's called Pinch of Garlic. It is my proprietary blend of JB's fish sauce. Some of it's crawfish, some of it's garlic. I've had great success with this. Used this past weekend. Finished 13th at St. Clair. Fish are eating it. I love it. You should do it too. Again, jbsfishsauce.com. They will ship it to you. It would be the same as getting it through me, so there's nothing there. So Costa Glasses I cannot speak to because I don't know anything about Costa Glasses. I'm actually affiliated with SolarBat. So I think Costa Glasses are anywhere from $100 to $350 if I'm mistaken. Yeah, so amen to that. The national anthem. That's the thing, man. Like bass fishermen, we know what it's all about. And we put our differences aside. I guarantee you can go into a bass fishing tournament and find somebody that has different political views, but you're not going to know that. We're going to go out there and catch fish. So let's see. So the fish sauce, again, first off, I think I told you guys last week, but this 4-ounce mist bottle, the spray bottle, is available now in JB's Fish Sauce. Check it out. The 1-ounce bottles are all that are available because of the COVID stuff and everybody making their own hand sanitizer and these bottles being out of stock. Now they're back in stock and you can get those on there. Another thing I want to mention is that I have struck a deal and worked with Gary Nesty at SolarBat Sunglasses, and I can actually bring you SolarBat sunglasses at a substantial discount. It's going to be anywhere from 25 to 30% off of retail, plus shipping. Again, if you guys are interested, I'll have a price list on my website, on my Facebook page at OnAnotherLine, and I'll have a video about it soon. If you guys are interested in ordering SolarBat sunglasses through me, it'll be anywhere from a 25 to 30% discount off of retail plus shipping. So it's going to save you some dough. If I save dough, you do too. That's the whole deal. Andrew, Tackle Box is great. Went there for the first time 3 weeks ago, and we'll be coming back a lot more for sure. I told you, man. I told you had to get over there. The Tackle Box is a legit place. Greg Drown, Debbie Drown, all the people that work up there, Chase Sansom, who I've had on my show before, Eric Davison, Nate Witt, all those guys up there, they know their stuff and be able to put you on anything you want. But again, if you guys are interested in JB's Fish Sauce, it is jbsfishsauce.com. Again, my signature blend is called Pinch O Garlic. Again, they will ship it to you. If I'm not mistaken, if you want free shipping, I believe anything over a $50 order, they'll ship to you for free. I may be wrong on that. Corey, if you're on here, if you'd comment on that to make sure that is true, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, jbsfishsauce.com is where you get that at. This video has been a little longer than normal, about 45 minutes in, but I wanted you guys to understand how to get access to a FLW BFL, and I want to encourage you to get out there and do it. I don't care if you just do it one time. Go out there and enjoy it. I'm not saying that tournament fishing is something that I may never do. I may never be a quote-unquote competitive tournament angler ever again. And I told you guys at the beginning of this year, I wanted to get back to my roots of fishing, and that is to understand why I love fishing. Tournament fishing gets in your blood, and I think it's the gambling aspect. You have the opportunity to win $6, $10, $12, $100,000, $150,000. You know, the highest, I think the FLW, the end tournament for the championship is, the FLW Cup is $300,000. Like, who wouldn't want that? But I've kind of lost a lot of my love for the sport of fishing because I spent too much time trying to be competitive and not enough time enjoying it. And that's the whole point. We're out there to enjoy it. But my advice to you is at least try to fish one BFL. Get out there and try it. And, you know, it may not be for you, but you may absolutely love it. It may be get in your blood like it is mine. You go out there and smash them, catch a bunch of fish, pay for your tournament entry fees. That's what it's all about. So, again, if I can help you out, link with somebody in my area. If you fish the Buckeye, the Michigan, I guess probably the Bama division, somewhere that's roughly located to me, I have a big enough following now that I could probably find you a link. So definitely let me know with that. First and foremost, I'm going to check YouTube really quick. I haven't checked it in a day or so. I've been super busy. As far as the amount of subscribers I have, I know I had last week I had a record number, or last month I had a record number of subscribers. So I want to thank you guys. I had over 100 subscribers last month, which is huge, totally huge, way more than I've ever had. So in the past 28 days, I've had 91 subscribers. 18.3 thousand, so 18,300 views, and almost 1,500 hours of watch time. Wow, it's crazy. That's awesome. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining me on Another Line on YouTube. If you haven't went over there and joined that, I would appreciate it if you would. Very much. It means a lot to me if you would actually subscribe to me. First and foremost, let's look at the number of people that have subscribed in the past few days. I'm trying to figure out where I started. Andrew Vang, Joey Bastard, EP Osborne, Bass Around Kentucky, Stuart Whitener. Sorry, I can't pronounce the next one. BDD 1496, Alex Rorig, and Krark, K-R-U-A-R-K, Krark 5. See who else? Habitat 42, Flatline Jew, The Ewok, Lucci Chromie, OVO Head. I guess that's Over Your Head. To Everything Outdoors, Liberton Presca, Friend Duncan Drone Productions. Guys, those are the ones that I see what's going on here. That are subscribed. People that have their privacy set up to where I can't see it, I apologize. I cannot give you a shout out, but I have 91 new subscribers. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it more than you know. Let's see here. Sorry, backed out of here for some odd reason. Kyle, do you have to get them through your Facebook for discount? Apologize if I misunderstood. Yes. So what will happen is there'll be more details coming out later this week. You will actually PayPal me the money. They will ship you the glasses. So whatever glasses you want, you can pick any frame you want, any lens that you want. And again, depending on the frame or the lens that you get, it's going to be anywhere from 25 to 30% off discount. You pay for the shipping. If you're in my area, you can have them shipped to me and I can give it to you, but they will drop ship it from Indiana to your house. It's going to save you, anywhere from 25 to 30%. So if it's $100, you're saving 25 to $30, which is a lot. Christopher said, I have 2 pair. I love them, guys. Get you some. So, yeah, Christopher threw out some stuff there and got himself a pair. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got the FL1s, the floating bats. But they're really good glasses. Tyler Akers and his dad have a pair of them that they got for me. They absolutely love them. They actually they had a pair of my glasses, 2 of them, to test them out before they bought theirs. Called me up and said, hey, we're not going to let you have these back. We're going to buy these all from you, whether you want to or not. Kind of wasn't that way, but I sold them my glasses. I have more coming in. But in the next day or so, you're going to see a post on my Facebook page. If you're not on Facebook, I'm going to create a video on YouTube as well, so you guys will get access to it as well. But what it'll be is, you'll just message me with what you want. You will PayPal me the money. I will then, that day, your order will be placed that day. And that day, as long as it's not super late in the day, it will be shipped out from Brazil, Indiana. That's not Brazil, the country. This is Brazil, Indiana. It will usually, it doesn't matter where you're at in the United States, it's usually less than 5-day shipping. So by the next weekend you're fishing, you'll have your glasses and you'll be there. So where exactly do I live? I live at the most southern tip of Ohio in a little town called Coal Grove, Ohio. I'm right across the river from Ashland, Kentucky, and about 15 minutes from Huntington, West Virginia. We are Marshall. All right, ladies and gents, it is 53 minutes into my live show. Again, I try to keep these things an hour or less, so I appreciate you guys joining. Keep looking on my Facebook page at OnAnotherLine, and as well, I'll make a video for both of these that will basically tell you how to do it. You can go online to solarbatsunglasses.com. Let me make sure that this is legit. Solarbat.com, not Solarbat Sunglasses. I'm sorry. So what will happen is you guys go to Solarbat Sunglasses, which, by the way, they do have gaming glasses. If your kids or you are a gamer and you want to get the glare of your TV off your eyes and the strain off your eyes, they do have a gaming lineup of glasses now. Buy one pair, get one 40% off. So what you'll do is you'll go to their website, you'll choose shop, you'll find out what glasses that you would like. For example, I'm going to choose, let's do Pros and Heroes. And let's say that I go down, actually, let's go up. Let's choose another one here. I'm going to choose Performance Polarized. I'm going to find the FL ones, which was actually right back there. I'm sorry, I missed that, which is here. So you're going to see floating bat. I'm going to click on floating bat here. Notice there's lens options here. If I choose some of them, like the amber blue or the gray ice blue mirror, notice that it jumps the price $10. So whatever the price is online here, it'll be 25 to 30% off. I'll give you guys more details about that. Only thing you have to do is PayPal me the money. I'll be able to tell you how much it is shipping, usually $5 or less. You'll PayPal me the money. You will then have a pair of solar bats. I will actually send you confirmation that you actually got an order in, and you'll have a tracking number so you can track it. So you're getting more information about that, and it'll be coming down the pike as we go on. So, guys, everything is, Andrew, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning in. Not a problem. So without further ado, guys, I hope this information helped you out to get out there and fish your first BFL. If you guys are just joining us, this will be live on Facebook. As soon as I end this, it will be live, actually be available on my YouTube channel tomorrow. For some reason, YouTube does this crazy thing where it takes like 12 hours for it to become live on my channel. So if you missed this and you want to watch this and you want to watch it this evening, you can go to facebook.com/OnAnotherLine, and it will take you to my Facebook page and you can watch it live there. Or if you want to watch it on YouTube tomorrow, you can just wait and it'll come up there as well. So I appreciate you guys joining me for this episode of On Another Line Live. My name is Tyler Waller, and as always, if you guys can get out there on the water and lean on them, please do so. Introduce a kid to some fishing. Take them fishing. Take somebody that's never been fishing out on the water and get them hooked just like you and I are in the great sport of fishing. Without further ado, guys, we'll see you next time on Another Line. Next video you're going to see on my channel is going to be day 2 of the walleye fishing adventure with Captain Chuck Dotson and Get Hooked Charters. Without further ado, guys, we'll see you guys next time. Get out there and lean on them if you can. See you next time on Another Line.